So our vision for House of Light as we emerge from lockdown, I think we'd like to be emerging as a greener business, emerging more conscious of our impact on the environment, and how that's worked out practically. We're growing a lot more food in the garden. We've been working on the veg patches. We've been planting lots more trees. Also, it's more your field, but building a larger solar panel.
Yeah. So we want to take more of the energy we need from the sun, of which there is plenty here. And we're looking at transportation because we're aware that our business involves people flying in and out. So we're looking now at being able to inform people how they might be able to reach us overland. And generally there's just a feeling of slowing down and taking time to breathe around and look at the details of what we do to see how that sits within the world as it's changing.
And one word that had emerged for us was sustainability across the board. So whether that be the transport that you use to arrive here, using the land so that we're supporting ourselves by growing food and planting more trees, even down to the work that's done here, making our lives and our relationships more sustainable. So hopefully, emerging as a more sustainable, conscious business. For me and my yoga practice, it's actually been fantastic because raising 2 small children and running a business, it has been a bit of a challenge sometimes to have a consistent yoga practice. So having a little bit more time and space has really allowed me to deepen into that and rediscover parts of it that had kind of slipped off the radar a little bit with a busier life. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that aspect of it.
But we've gleaned lots of gems from this experience. One of the main ones for me being real quality time with family, with our children, the younger ones and the older ones visiting, having more time for genuine connection and attention with the children. And it's been a real true test of our ability to just be within lots of practices that we try to incorporate into our daily lives, like yoga and meditation. Obviously you kind of are working towards that, but once it was kind of enforced and we were just here with ourselves and with the land, suddenly I personally realised that my mind was actually a lot busier than I thought it was, and to just to be was more of a challenge than I expected, but has had wonderful positive results.
Just having that much more time to be with myself, to be with my family. I run a weekly group with other men in the community, and that's really deepened in this time because the whole situation has brought up a lot of stuff to work with, looking at the uncertain future and how we stand, people's worries about finance and health. And with other growers around, we found a time now that we get more veg boxes from other people producing where we would have gone to the supermarket before. That's been really enriching, isn't it? Seeing what else is really local and close. Really, that's just been a natural unfolding of lockdown and the COVID thing is everything's quietened, but we've got the details of the quality of what's around here, really near to us, is really wonderful, which we kind of didn't have time to find before.
And I'd say even though the nature and the landscape has always been an integral part of House of Light, it's also given us space to really reconnect with the land, having more time, as we said, about planting more trees, really thinking consciously about where they're going to go, how they're going to affect the landscape, how we might feed our family and our guests more fully from the garden, so looking into permaculture. So yeah, a deeper connection with the land that we live on.
For me, it's been that the joy and the fulfilment of running this place mainly lies in when people arrive. It's hosting the groups, it's welcoming people, it's allaying their fears, it's then nourishing them, holding a safe space for them to dive into their work, and watching them transition through the transformation, through the magic that happens in these groups. So I've really, really missed that, the connection with people. But yeah, on the flip side, we're now looking forward to being able to open up to that again. We're remaining positive that whether it be towards the end of this year or possibly into next year, that we will be reopening and welcoming groups back, and there'll be, and if anything, an even deeper need from people to come and heal and reconnect and awaken. So yeah, it's been challenging to miss that, but I'm also feeling optimistic and looking forward to times when we can revisit that.
Yeah. I found the first few weeks of the lockdown, I struggled with the need to do and to run the place, and we couldn't run. But now I after that, I sank into the bits of work that there's always work to do here on the land and the building, and just improving and planting, and I found I sink into it more now, so I'm much more comfortable being really present doing each job rather than racking them up and having a certain level of stress, which I used to enjoy, but it's quite nice to feel this space and to sink into a job and really be present with it. Yeah. Less shopping. Just simplifying, learning the practice of going out for supplies once every 2 weeks was a surprising thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And as I said earlier, finding that we can get our veg from the valley over there, from our neighbours, and other stuff from here, and eggs from here. Yeah, a quietening down on the consumption front, on actually having to go out and fetch.
I've always been really into foraging and using what is available, but again, that has deepened even further with lockdown, because when we didn't want to or couldn't go to the shops, it was like, okay, what really is available on our land, and finding out loads more plants and flowers that are edible. So that's been great. Just having breathing room around each job, each task, spending time with the kids, spending time on the land is it's
just really, I think
quietening.
we found quite early on, it's just reconfirming the lessons that teachers and gurus have been offering up for millennia, just to slow down, just to take time. And even though it had to be almost enforced, we've definitely felt a deepening into those lessons, and actually experiencing them more fully than just knowing the theory behind it but not having time to practice. So coming next for House of Light, looking forward to 2021, we have some really inspirational, exciting bookings already coming in. And I am feeling really positive and enthusiastic that the more negative effects of the coronavirus will have dispersed by then. We will have moved through, and we'll be welcoming lots of teachers to come and hold their groups here. We will be opening up the space once again to support all the healing and the regeneration and that's going to be so necessary, I think, after Corona. Lots of people returning that we've hosted before, and lots of new, different leaders that will all be available to look at on our website. Returning to what we do best and what we love doing, basically.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to share that we really appreciate the way there's been mutual support. It's obviously been difficult times for lots of people, for us and for the leaders on a financial level and an energetic level. And in general, everybody that we've had to contact and give difficult news to, or move through cancellations. They've remained really supportive and positive, and it's felt like there's been a really shared responsibility of the impact of coronavirus. So putting out a big thank you to all of the leaders that have transitioned through that with us.
And I feel like although we launched last year, and then this year we were really taking off, and suddenly stomp, it's stopped us in our tracks in terms of running retreats. But this project is a heartfelt thing for both of us, and we wanted to create a space where people can come inside and have a break from outside world and do their work. And we can only take so many people at a time, and to see that the whole world went into shutdown, or 2/3 of the planet being on shutdown, although not everybody will have gained perspective from that, that's far more than I could ever imagine ever achieving in terms of encouraging people to take time out from producing, consuming, and see what is valuable to them and where they're at. So even though it's frustrating on some levels, I can't feel a complaint about this shutdown, because it's like, wow, what more could the planet need? In some ways, we really did need time, and for so many people to stop and have a little think, I think is beyond anything I could have imagined setting up. So yeah, on a bigger picture, it's kind of in line with what we're trying to do in our own small way.